A letter to my 60-year-old self. Hello and welcome. Today, I want to talk to you from a place of reflection. The 60s are a peculiar and wonderful decade, aren't they? You're standing on a bridge. Behind you is a bustling, often chaotic, landscape of your career and family-building years. Ahead of you is a new, uncharted territory, a future with more freedom, perhaps, but also more questions. I am a little further down that road you're on, and I've learned that the view from here is quite different. The things that once seemed critically important have softened, and the things I barely noticed have come into sharp, beautiful focus. This isn't a list of regrets, but rather a collection of loving whispers, of truths I wish I had understood more deeply when I was standing right where you are now. If I could send a letter back in time, this is what I would want my 60-year-old self to know. 1. Your body's currency is mobility, not muscle at 60. Many of us are still chasing the fitness ideals of our youth. We measure our health in miles run or weights lifted. I wish I had known then that the true currency of physical freedom in your 70s, 80s, and beyond is not strength, but mobility. I remember my friend David, a former rugby player who prided himself on his strength. He could still lift heavy bags of soil in the garden well into his 60s. But he ignored the gentle art of stretching, of yoga, of simply maintaining his flexibility. By his mid-70s, his strength was still there, but his world had shrunk. He struggled to tie his own shoelaces, to reach for a book on a high shelf, or to get on the floor to play with his grandchildren. His strength became a cage. The wisdom is this: walk every day. Stretch. Do Tai Chi. Cherish the ability to move freely. It is the quiet bedrock of your independence. 2. Time begins to accelerate. You've likely already noticed it. The weeks start to feel like weekends, the months like weeks. At 60, this acceleration kicks into a new gear. It's a disorienting feeling. I wish I had understood that this isn't something to fear, but a profound invitation to be present. I had a dear friend I meant to visit. Next month, I'd tell myself, we have plenty of time. But next month became a cascade of other small obligations, and suddenly a year had passed. Then I received the call that she was gone. The plenty of time I thought we had was an illusion. The lesson isn't to frantically pack your schedule, but to savor the time you are in. When you are drinking your morning coffee, just drink the coffee. When you're talking to a loved one, put your phone away and truly listen. Time speeds up because we spend so much of it thinking about the past or planning for future. Anchor yourself in the now. It's the only place where life truly exists. 3. Prune your social garden. By the time you're 60, you've accumulated relationships like a garden accumulates plants. Some are beautiful, nourishing flowers. Others are weeds, draining the soil of its nutrients. I wish I had started pruning my social garden more intentionally at 60. I remember Carol, who felt a constant low-grade exhaustion. Her calendar was filled with obligatory lunches, committee meetings, and gatherings with people who left her feeling drained. She was afraid of offending anyone. One day, she realized she was giving her most precious resource, her time and energy, to near strangers, leaving only the leftovers for her dearest friends and her own soul. The wisdom is this: your social energy is finite. Invest it where it yields joy, depth, and genuine connection. It's better to have 4 quarters than 100 pennies. For your purpose is not your profession. For many of us, especially men of my generation, our identity was fused with our job title. Retirement then can feel like a kind of death. You go from being Frank, the managing director, to just Frank. I wish I had known that my profession was just one expression of my purpose, not the source of it. Frank, after retiring, was utterly lost. He would wander the house, straightening pictures, feeling irrelevant. His wife wisely suggested he volunteer at a local startup incubator to mentor young entrepreneurs. He reluctantly agreed. Within a month, he was a new man. The joy he found in sharing his experience, in guiding a young person away from the mistakes he had made, was more profound than any paycheck he had ever received. Your purpose isn't something you retire from. It's the core of who you are: a mentor, a storyteller, a caregiver, a creator, a lifelong learner. You just have to channel it into a new vessel. 5. Let go of the stones in your pockets. By 60, most of us are carrying a few stones in our pockets: grudges, old hurts, resentments. They don't seem that heavy at first, but over the years, their weight adds up, stooping our shoulders and souring our spirit. I wish I had understood that forgiveness is not a gift you give to the other person. It's an act of self-love. For nearly 20 years, I carried a stone for a sibling over a foolish family argument. I replayed the injustice in my mind, nurturing the grievance. It was exhausting. One day, I simply decided I was tired of being tired. I called, not to relitigate the past, but simply to say, I miss having you in my life. The relief was immediate and physical, as if I had finally set down a heavy bag I didn't even realize I was carrying. Let the stones go. They are only weighing you down. 6. No is a statement of self-respect. Many of us were raised to be people pleasers, to be accommodating, to say yes. By 60, those decades of yes can lead to burnout. I wish I had embraced the power and grace of a simple, guilt-free no. Susan was the yes woman of her family. Yes, she would babysit on short notice. Yes, she would organize a community fundraiser. Yes, she would host a holiday dinner for 30 people. Again, she was running on fumes, and her own health was suffering. Learning to say, I'm so sorry, but I can't this time, was one of the hardest but most important things she ever did. It wasn't selfish. It was an act of self-preservation. A well-placed no allows you to offer a more wholehearted yes to the things that truly matter. 7. Your legacy is written in memories. Not in you we spend a lot of time in our later years thinking about what we will leave behind. We meticulously plan our wills and organize our assets. That is important. But I wish I had known that our true legacy has very little to do with our material possessions. After my own parents passed, we had the monumental task of clearing out their home of 50 years. The valuable antiques, the carefully collected silver, all felt strangely empty. The things we held on to, the things we cried over, were a shoebox of old photographs, a bundle of my father's letters to my mother, and a recipe book with her handwritten notes in the margins. Your true legacy is the love you shared, the stories you told, the wisdom you imparted, and the memories you created. Focus on enriching that legacy every single day. 8. Your brain craves novelty. Retirement can lull you into a comfortable but dangerous routine. The same crossword puzzle, the same TV shows, the same driving routes. I wish I had known how much my brain, even an aging one, craved and responded to novelty. My neighbor George felt a mental fog descending after he stopped working. His memory felt less sharp, his thoughts less clear. On a whim, his granddaughter signed him up for an online Italian language course. The first few weeks were daunting, but then something amazing happened. As he wrestled with new verbs and unfamiliar pronunciations, he felt new neural pathways sparking to life. The fog began to lift. Learning something new, a language, an instrument, a new card game, is not a frivolous hobby. It is essential maintenance for your mind. 9. Be kinder to your younger self at 60. You have enough distance to look back at the person you were at 30 or 40, and it's easy to judge. Why did I worry so much? Why did I make that foolish mistake? We often treat our past selves with a harshness we would never show a friend. I spent years regretting a particular business decision I made in my late 40s. I saw it as a massive failure. But with the wisdom of age, I can now look back at that younger man and see him with compassion. I see that he was doing the very best he could with the knowledge, the pressure, and the emotional resources he had at that time. The wisdom is this: your younger self paved the road that got you here. Thank them for the journey, forgive them for the bumps, and let them rest. 10. Discover the magnificence of the mundane. This may be the most important lesson of all. We spend our lives searching for happiness, as if it's a destination we must arrive at. But it's not. Happiness is not in the grand gesture. It's in the quiet appreciation of the mundane. It is a profound satisfaction of a perfectly brewed cup of tea in your favorite mug. It is the warmth of a patch of sunlight on the floor as you read the morning paper. It is the simple miracle of a bird landing on your garden fence. At 60, I was still chasing. Now, I know that all I ever needed to do was notice. True contentment is found in being fully present for the small, magnificent, and ordinary moments that make up a life. Your next chapter, these are the truths I've gathered. They are not meant to make you feel that you have lost time, but to inspire you to embrace the time you have with a new sense of clarity and purpose. Your 60s are not an ending. They are a grand beginning, an opportunity to live more consciously and authentically than ever before. What is one piece of wisdom that resonated most deeply with you? Or is there a lesson you've learned that you would add to this list? Please share your thoughts in the comments below. Your story is a gift to this community. If you found value in this reflection, please give this video a thumbs up, subscribe for more conversations on a life well lived, and share it with anyone who might be on this beautiful, complex, and rewarding journey. Thank you for being here.